imagine the rainforest, our minds usually drift to the apex predators. We think of the jaguar moving silently through the undergrowth, its coat blending into the dappled shadows. We think of the viper, coiled and waiting in the ferns, or the harpy eagle watching from the canopy. We define the jungle by its danger, by the teeth and claws that rule the food chain. But there is a different kind of warrior in these forests, one that has evaded our suspicion for centuries. It is small, it is iridescent, and it weighs less than a nickel. We are talking about the hummingbird. To the human eye, the hummingbird is the ultimate symbol of fragility and beauty. They are the jewels of the air, hovering like impossible machines, darting from flower to sip nectar. We see them as peaceful pollinators, creatures of sugar and sunlight. But this perception is a lie. New research has peeled back the layers of their iridescent feathers to reveal a dark and violent truth. Beneath that shimmering exterior beats the heart of a gladiator, and on their faces, they carry a weapon that evolution has honed not for feeding, but for killing. Before we dive into the microscopic wars taking place in the jungles of Central America, take a moment to click that subscribe button below. We are dedicated to uncovering the hidden stories of the natural world, and by subscribing, you ensure you never miss a discovery. Join our community of explorers today. To understand this discovery, we have to travel to the humid rainforests of Central and South America, the home of a specific species known as the Green Hermit hummingbird. For decades, biologists have studied these birds, and for decades, they thought they understood them. The Green Hermit was supposed to be a textbook example of co-evolution. You see, the female Green Hermit possesses a long, elegantly curved bill. It is a masterpiece of natural engineering, perfectly shaped to slide into the curved corollas of the exotic flowers they feed on. Like the heliconia, it is a lock and key relationship. The bird gets the nectar, the flower gets pollinated, and everyone wins. But there was always a puzzle piece that didn't fit: the males. When scientists looked at the male Green Hermits, they noticed something odd. Their bills were different. They weren't as curved. They were straighter and they looked sharper. In the strict logic of survival, this didn't make much sense. If the curved bill is the most efficient tool for getting food from curved flowers, why would the males evolve a tool that is arguably worse at the job? For a long time, the prevailing scientific theory was something called niche partitioning. The idea was that males and females simply evolved to eat from different types of flowers so they wouldn't have to compete with each other for food. It was a nice, peaceful theory. It suggested a cooperative existence. But a groundbreaking new study published in the Journal of Experimental Biology has shattered that polite assumption. Researchers from the University of Washington and the University of Costa Rica decided to look closer. And what they found changes everything we know about these birds. They discovered that the male's beak isn't shaped for flowers at all. It is shaped for fencing. The life of a male Green Hermit is not a peaceful one. It is a life of constant, high-stakes competition. To understand why they need a weapon, you have to understand where they spend their time. During the breeding season, males gather in specific patches of the forest called leks. You can think of a lek as a stage, an arena, and a singles bar all rolled into one chaotic location. In these leks, the males gather in groups to sing. They chirp and call, puffing out their feathers, trying to attract the attention of a female. But the real estate in a lek is limited. There are only so many good perches. The ones with the best acoustics, the ones where a male is most likely to be seen. And because this real estate is valuable, it is contested. According to evolutionary biologist Alejandro Rico Guevara, a co-author of the study, these gatherings are intense. He describes the lek as a place where the birds go bananas. If a rival male tries to land on your perch, you don't share, you don't posture, you attack. And this is where the hummingbird reveals its true nature. These territorial disputes are not just noisy squabbles. They are aerial dogfights. The birds use their bills to jab, parry, and stab at each other in midair. The battles can be gruesome. They don't just peck, they aim for the throat. They try to knock each other out of the sky. In this context, having a curved bill, like the females do, is a liability. If you enter a sword fight with a hook, you are at a disadvantage. You need a rapier. You need a dagger. The researchers at the University of Washington wanted to prove this mathematically. They didn't just want to observe the fights, they wanted to understand the biomechanics of the weapon. Using micro-CT scans, they built 3D models of the bills from 8 female and 8 male specimens housed at the Beak Museum of Natural History and Culture. They analyzed the density, the structure, and the shape. The results were staggering. The analysis revealed that the tips of the male bills are roughly 69% sharper than those of the females. Let that sink in. 69%. That is the difference between a butter knife and a scalpel. The males also have dagger-like tips that the females completely lack. But it wasn't just about sharpness, it was about the straightness. The study found that male bills are significantly straighter than female bills. In the world of physics, straightness matters. When you try to stab something with a curved object, the energy dissipates. The object wants to bend, or buckle, or slide off the target. But a straight object transmits force directly. Through simulated stabbing tests on the computer models, the researchers found that the male bills expend roughly 52% less energy due to bending or stretching. They experience around 39% less stress upon impact compared to the female bills. This structural advantage means a male green hermit can strike harder, faster, and from a wider variety of angles than a female could, without risking breaking his own beak. It is a specialized, sexually dimorphic weapon honed by millions of years of brutal selection. This discovery forces us to rethink the evolutionary trade-offs these birds have made. By evolving a beak suited for stabbing rivals, the male green hermit has compromised his ability to feed. He cannot reach the nectar in the deepest, most curved flowers as efficiently as the female can. He has sacrificed easy living for the power to dominate his rivals. It is a choice, written in DNA, that prioritizes combat over comfort. It is fascinating to realize that modern science is only now catching up to what ancient cultures seem to understand intuitively. We often look at the hummingbird as a symbol of joy, but the Aztecs of central Mexico saw something very different. To them, the hummingbird was a symbol of war. The Aztec god of the sun and war was named Huitzilopochtli. His name is a combination of the Nahuatl words for hummingbird and left. The Aztecs believed that the south was the left side of the world, and they believed that brave warriors who died in battle were reincarnated as hummingbirds. To them, the name Huitzilopochtli meant resuscitated warrior of the south. For centuries, historians viewed this as a poetic metaphor. We thought they admired the bird's energy or its speed. But looking at the CT scans of these dagger-like bills and watching the vicious battles for dominance in the leks, we realized the Aztecs were right all along. These birds possess the spirit and the weaponry of true warriors. They are not peaceful. They are resuscitated warriors fighting an endless battle for legacy and survival. Biologist Lucas Mansfield, another author of the study, noted how rare this is. We are used to seeing weapons in nature. Think of the antlers of a deer, the horns of a moose, or the massive tusks of an elephant. But these are obvious weapons. In the bird world, sexually dimorphic weapons, weapons that only one gender has, are incredibly rare. And for a weapon to be cryptic, hidden in plain sight as a feeding tool, is even rarer. It reminds us that nature is rarely just one thing. It is a balance of beauty and brutality. The same beak that gently sips nectar from a delicate orchid is used moments later to stab a rival in the throat. The Green Hermit teaches us that we should not judge a book by its cover or a bird by its feathers. Even the smallest, most beautiful creatures are fighting a war we can barely see. As we continue to use technology like 3D scanning and biomechanical simulation, who knows what other secrets we will uncover in the animal kingdom? What other peaceful animals are hiding arsenals of weapons? The rainforest is still full of mysteries, waiting for us to look past the surface. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden combat of the hummingbird, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. It really helps us out and lets us keep bringing you these documentaries. We have so many more stories to tell, from the depths of the ocean to the tops of the canopy, and we want you there with us. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.